Chapter 1898 Guishu. Father Anderson looked at the man behind him, and a moment of confusion flashed across his eyes, but he quickly shook his head vigorously to regain consciousness. It's fake, all fake. The old gentleman Adams smiled at the giant in front of him. Hello, Sharon. His expression was obviously relieved. Sharon came in front of the two men, his tall body looking down at Adam and Anderson like a giant looking down on two dwarfs. What happened? He asked curiously. Father Anderson had a dark face. He glanced at Adam and said casually, Nothing. Your business is over, and it's time for me to leave. When he was about to leave, he suddenly realized that this was his church. He pointed into the distance and said to the two of them, Okay, it's time for you to go. Adam looked at Sharon with a smile. Let's go. We haven't seen each other for a long time. It's time to have a good chat. The two left the church, and the door behind them was slammed shut. There are now pedestrians on the streets of the Ville area, and you can even see mothers taking their children for a walk. Babies born during the Ice Age seem to be stronger than those in previous seasons. Only the fittest survive, and this is an adaptive mutation that occurs in order to adapt to the extremely cold environment. Adams had only reached Karen's chest, and the two of them were not in a hurry, just like taking a leisurely stroll. I just came back from Abyss number 51. How do you feel? Adams said with a smile. There was always a faint smile on his face, and due to his old age, his eyes were narrowed into slits, making it impossible to see his eyes. Sharon replied nonchalantly. What else? It's the same as every place I've been to over the years. Endless war. Killing, fighting, and finally conquering an area and plundering its resources. Adam laughed. Indeed, it is very consistent with your identity as a Navy SEAL. By the way, when you were heading to Abyss 51, a very big thing happened outside. Sharon lowered his head and looked at Adam. Oh. Adam. An ultra-ancient god-level civilization appeared. Because of its appearance, it attracted the Druk giants. Karen's originally careless eyes suddenly became solemn. So soon? According to what those underground people once warned us, it is obviously not the right time yet. Adam said with a smile, It was because of an accident. Maybe it was the emergence of the god-level civilization that made those guys who plundered everything prefer to take huge risks and appear in the world in advance. After all, they are a group of monsters who act completely according to their inner desires. Sharon frowned. What do you want me to do by telling me this? Adam laughed. You've guessed it, haven't you? After all, Brian is just a dog raised by Leonardo da Vinci. His performance in Colombia was not very satisfactory to the top management. And Morgan is performing a special mission in the sky. So this time, the top management decided to let you go to the Sahara Desert. Sharon curled his lips. Let me pass? Have you thought it through? I think you will not forget what the consequences will be if you let me take action. Adam turned his head to look at Sharon. He had to raise his neck high, which was indeed a very difficult action. It doesn't matter. You are a person who is good at destruction. No one can control you. So, just do what you want. People from the Holy See and Western Europe are also here, and they will be responsible for handling other troubles. Sharon nodded. He hugged his arms. God, his arms were even thicker than Zhang Yi's thighs. If Zhang Yi saw him, he would definitely suspect whether he had lizard man blood. I was also wondering what level the aliens from other countries on this planet have reached during the time I was gone. Adam's smile deepened. We also want to see to what extent you have evolved after returning from Abyss number 51. Huasu Country, East China Sea Region. Donghai City, Navy Headquarters. A special guest came to Donghai City today and was received personally by Li Guangxiao, the Supreme Commander of the Donghai region. Accompanying them are Xuanwu and Suzaku, two of the four most powerful warriors. As for the second-generation Azure Dragon and the second-generation White Tiger, they are still only at the level of 9,000 plus and are not yet able to stand on their own in today's East China Sea. The steam from the tea rose slowly, blocking the face of the man opposite the sofa, but his neat military uniform could still be seen. Li Guangxiao reached out and poured him a cup of tea, with a friendly smile on his face. "Nephew, I didn't expect that one day you would come to me from all over the world." Across the coffee table, the young soldier picked up the teacup and took a sip of tea, then said with a wry smile, "Sixth uncle, don't make fun of me. I am not the same as I used to be." The young soldier was none other than Li Chonggong, who fled here after the power in the northwest region was seized. Li Guangxiao and Li Chonggong were not from the same family, but they both had the surname Li and came from large families, so they were related. The two families have had a good relationship for hundreds of years. However, this kind of relationship only exists when the values of both parties are equal. Nowadays, Li Chonggong has lost his territory and fled here. Li Guangxiao's attitude towards him was very ambiguous. Li Guangxiao would not be willing to send troops to help him seize power. The main force under his command was the navy, and it was a joke to cross the entire country to the northwest. "Nephew, you haven't been to our Donghai for many years. Stay a little longer this time. Take a good look at our local customs and culture," Li Guangxiao said with a smile. As for keeping him, Li Guangxiao had no such plan. Don't forget that Li Chonggong is now a black chariot-level alien. When meeting him, Li Guangxiao must bring Xuanwu and Suzaku with him. This guy got to the position after stabbing his old superior in the back and driving him out of office. Li Guangxiao was afraid that he would repeat Luo Yunfeng's mistakes. By the way, now that you have left the northwest region, what are your plans for the future? Sitting next to Li Guangxiao were Xuanwu and Suzaku. The Suzaku now has changed a lot from before. Her hair is no longer black, but has turned into a gradient blue. From the top of the head to the end of the waist, the color gradually fades and finally turns white. This is not the result of dying, but a physiological change caused by a breakthrough in life level. That's right, today's Suzaku is already a powerful being at the level of Epsilon. Although she had some friendship with Li Chonggong, she was secretly alert when facing the Lion King who had left the Lion Group. Li Chonggong put down the teacup in his hand and said to Li Guangxiao, "Sixth uncle, I am not here to ask for money. If I really want to borrow soldiers, I can't ask you to borrow your navy, right?" "Oh, is that so?" Li Guangxiao stared at Li Chonggong, trying to catch some strange expression on his face. Li Chonggong smiled and said, "To be honest, I came here this time with the intention of doing a business with you." "Business?" Li Chonggong, Xuanwu, and Suzaku all showed a look of surprise on their faces. "You came all the way here to do business? Tell me about it," Suzaku said in a cold voice. She interrupted at this time, but Li Guangxiao didn't care. Instead, he stared at Li Chonggong with a smile. Li Chonggong said, "The situation in the world today is volatile. The naval force that was once the world's top force now seems to be weak. Why is this?" Li Guangxiao, Xuanwu, and Suzaku all had unhappy expressions. 3 years after the end of the world, the presence of the East China Sea region in Huashu country and even in the entire world has been declining. With the coming of the era of great mutation, they who relied on warships and submarines as weapons gradually lost their advantages. Stranger people became the protagonists of the era. However, the current level of extraordinary people in the East China Sea region can hardly be ranked in the top 3 compared to the Huashu Kingdom. It is not as reasonable as Shengjing. In the southwest region, although the tantric master of the tomb is powerful, he is unable to leave the territory due to the power of faith. However, the Jiangnan region, a region whose military power was obviously not strong enough, became the top region in Huashu country and even the world because of Zhang Yi. The East China Sea region currently has very little say in the Huashu Kingdom, and everyone has to live their lives according to the wishes of Xinjiang and Tianhai City. It is impossible to say that Li Guangxiao had no thoughts in his mind. However, the situation is stronger than people. How can it be easy to train high-level mutants? Talent, luck, and geographical location are all key factors that are indispensable. The battle at Qingdao Wugu was the one that gave them the best chance to rise, but in the end, Zhang Yi took away the biggest opportunity. Later, Qinglong, who was the second strongest, died in battle, and Donghai City suffered heavy damage from the Wulwan Empire. Can Li Guangxiao, Xuanwu, and Suzaku look happy? Nephew, your words really make me uncomfortable. You poke me wherever it hurts. Li Guangxiao sighed. Just say what you want to say. We are all from a military family. There is no need to beat around the bush. Li Changgong's expression became serious. What is the key to becoming stronger? Xuanwu gave his own opinion. Absorbing the essence of high-level aliens and obtaining the spirit of sacrifice. So far, only these two methods can make people stronger. Of course, it is not ruled out that there are mysterious substances in the historical relics of powerful underground civilizations. Li Changgong said, You are right. Think about that guy Han Dun. At the beginning, he obviously had far fewer resources than us who have regional resources. But why is he growing the fastest? Even now, in the entire Huashu kingdom, no one can compete with him except Ho Tu. That's because he has been adventuring in the secret realms of various underground civilizations. From the Star Island Mist Valley, to the underground demon kingdom in the southwest region, to the Qinling Dragon Vein, the battle of the Wulwan Empire, and then the trip to Fremon some time ago. He is very lucky. He survived every time. This may be a person with good fortune. High risk and high return coexist. He is becoming stronger step by step because he can't die. Li Guangxiao was also quite touched when he heard these words. When good luck comes, heaven and earth are on your side. When bad luck comes, heroes cannot be free. Zhang Yi has a destiny bestowed upon him. Upon hearing this, Zhuke suddenly sneered. What do you mean by destiny? Is it so hard to admit that others are brave and strong? She ruthlessly exposed Li Changgong's humility. This brother whom she admired very much in the past is no longer so high and mighty in Suzuka's eyes. Therefore, she also knew why the Northwest region was lost. Everyone else is aware of the changes he has undergone over the years. She stared at Li Changgong. Li Changgong had never expected that the girl next door who had always admired him would speak to him in this tone. Zhang Hanyu. Zhuke looked at him, took a deep breath and said, The reason why Zhang Yi can continue to become stronger is because he has a huge sense of crisis. He dare not let himself slack off for a moment. Because he is not like you, who has an excellent family background and has mastered the resources of an entire region at a young age. So, he must keep fighting and looking for opportunities to become stronger. But, brotherly, your mythological code name is Emperor Go-Chin, which is one of the 5 ancient emperors of Huashu Kingdom. However, you have such powerful resources. Why do you gradually become complacent and dare not move forward? If Zhang Yi were sitting in your position, I believe he would choose to make good use of the resources in his hands to make himself and the people around him stronger. Her next words really hit Li Changgong's lungs. It's because you didn't get your position legitimately, so you always worry that others will imitate you and take your position. You put all your energy on guarding against your subordinates. But what's the result? Everything you do has become a joke. These words left Li Changgong speechless. Li Guangxiao didn't expect Zhuke to say such harsh words. This is probably what it means to pity their misfortune and be angry at their lack of resistance. It is precisely because the two of them are old friends that they cannot stand Li Changgong's current appearance. Li Changgong sat on the sofa with his eyes lowered. Suzuka felt that he would stand up in a rage and scold and refute himself. But Li Changgong didn't do that. He just stared at it for a moment, then smiled faintly. You're right. So, am I not here? Because I want to change myself. In the past 3 years, I've been worried every day that I would repeat Jing Shuai's ending. Actually, there were many opportunities for me to improve myself. I had the chance to go to the Southwest region and Fremon's. But I'm afraid. He leaned back on the sofa, his eyes filled with reminiscence and melancholy. When people have too much, they always look ahead and behind. Li Guangxiao and others noticed the changes in Li Changgong. After Xiao Lai seized power from him, he seemed to have really grown a lot instead of giving up on himself. Zhuke crossed her arms. She wanted to hear what her brother was trying to do. If he could really repent and change his ways, then she would still have hope for him. After all, Li Changgong's talent is extremely high. His ability, I am God's will, is one of the best even among all the special abilities. Ignore all rules and cut through everything indiscriminately. If this ability is well developed, it can even allow one to kill enemies who are many times stronger than oneself. Li Chonggong spread his arms. I have nothing now. At the beginning, I felt very painful and wanted to take back everything that belonged to me immediately. But I stayed in Tianhai City for 3 days. After seeing the look on Zhang Yi's face, I suddenly understood. It turns out that people can't move forward with a burden on their backs. So this guy has the ability to pack up everything so that he doesn't have to worry about it. I don't have his ability, but now I don't need to wake up every day thinking about how to manage a large region, wondering if my men will betray me. Now I am free and relaxed. I can do whatever I want. Even if I die, I don't have to worry about the region collapsing because of me. Li Chonggong smiled and said, from this point of view, Shaolai has taken away my troubles. Li Guangxiao showed a satisfied expression on his face. You are really different. Li Chonggong said, tell me the purpose of my coming. In fact, I said that many opportunities are in front of me. It's just that I was hesitant and did not dare to do it before. I know a place where there are remains of ancient civilization under the ocean. I don't have the ability to explore this place myself. I think the only one in the entire Huaxu Kingdom that has the ability to explore there is the East China Sea region, which has strong ocean exploration capabilities. As soon as these words came out, Li Guangxiao's face changed immediately. Suzaku and Xuanwu also had serious expressions, with excitement flashing in their eyes. The discovery of underground civilization means huge danger, but also huge opportunities. Now, they have obtained several mechanical life forms shared by Zhang Yi. Just by studying them, the technological level of the East China Sea region has been greatly raised. Nephew, are you telling the truth? Li Guangxiao supported his chin with both hands, his eyes deep. Don't joke about such things. Of course. Li Chonggong said, don't forget that my mother was the director of the Shengjing Archaeological Institute. I have been exposed to ancient history and mythology since I was a child. In the past 3 years, I have not wasted my talents. Sixth uncle, Xiaohan and Xuanwu. Have you heard of Guishu? Classic of mountains and seas. Great Wilderness East Classic mentioned that there is a huge ravine outside the East China Sea, and all the seawater in the world will pour into it, but the water in Guishu will not increase or decrease. According to legend, Xiaohao raised Zhuanxiu in this place. Li Chonggong said, Guishu does exist. I have sent people to explore many areas of Huaxu country. The Central Plains country is the land of the dragon ancestors, and the races under the dragon veins of the Qinling Mountains are hiding there, so no other ethnic groups can occupy the land there. But in Guishu overseas, my people have discovered abnormal fluctuations. I can confirm that there is the entrance to the ocean civilization. Li Guangxiao touched his chin. You mean we explore together? Li Chonggong smiled slightly. You should know very well how strong the underground civilization is. Relying solely on the current strength of the East China Sea region, the risk is too great. With me, the probability of success will become very high. Besides, I am your best partner, am I not? He was right about this, and Li Guangxiao nodded. Whether it is Shengjing region or Jiangnan region, given their style of doing things, the East China region can only eat what they leave behind. Especially Zhang Yi. That guy's style of doing things is simply stingy. He eats meat, but others can't drink the soup. They can only drink the water used to wash the pot. If we prove that the Guishu you mentioned does exist, then we can cooperate. Li Guangxiao agreed. Li Chonggong smiled. He stood up, bent down, and shook hands with Li Guangxiao across the coffee table. I won't let you down. As long as we succeed this time, the East China Sea region will become the most powerful navy in the world. And I will get everything I want. Tianhai City. Zhang Yi decided to go to KG Kingdom. This is not for others, but just for himself. As agreed, Alib really sent the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is a photo of the real Dead Sea Scrolls. This is an imperfect ancient book, which contains incomplete text recorded on early papyrus. The Junjing Church spent hundreds of years to compile this document and offered a high reward to anyone who could repair and supplement it. Only now does this oldest surviving version of the Holy Scripture exist. Zhang Yi handed it to Yang Xinxin according to the old rules. After all, he couldn't understand these ancient characters. We have to go there eventually, Zhang Yi said to Yang Xinxin. Only after we seal Mammon can the marks on our bodies be removed. Yang Xinxin looked at the information in front of him, his expression so focused that he didn't have time to look back. The top priority now should be to study the information of the country of Cage. This country is too mysterious, and we are going to a country with tens of millions of people and operating in the opponent's home turf. If we are not careful, a war will break out, Zhang Yi said with his arms folded. This is one of the reasons why they asked me to carry out the mission. If something really goes wrong, at least I can guarantee to escape. But brother, this mission is different from all your previous actions. Yang Xinxin looked at Zhang Yi deeply. We are entering a human kingdom recognized by secular law. And we want to see something from the leader of this kingdom. This involves very complicated matters, which may even involve political factors. This is why the Junjing Church cannot intervene directly. Are you going to notify Shengjing District and other regions about this matter? Zhang Yi pondered for a moment and said, There is no need. Those guys in Shengjing are too smart, and there must be some connection between them and the Qinling Dragon Clan. I'm worried that if I tell them, they will associate it with what happened to us in Fremons. Now, I don't want others to know that we have inherited the Yihan clan. Yang Xinxin nodded. Since it is your decision, brother, I will definitely support it. Zhang Yi looked at Yang Xinxin, who was carefully looking through the information, but there was one thing he did not tell her. Because it was a secret that could not be told to anyone for the time being, he needed time to confirm it. Dear viewers, thanks for staying with me. We'll try to get you more updates. Please like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Love you all.